Hi, my name is Hussein. I'm from Bolton, which is just outside of Manchester. I'm a franchisee for Fuwa Fuwa, which is going to be their first location in Manchester, UK. So when I was 14, I actually started my first business. It was selling football, which I think you call soccer here, football shirts. And since then, I've always been interested, had a keen eye for business. I then moved on to working in the restaurant industry, working as a waiter, doing front of house, back of house, serving drinks, that sort of thing. I've also been to college and university as well, where I studied civil engineering. Did a lot of work there on the corporate side and the design side. Since then, I've always had that business knack and wanted to be my own boss. And Fuwa Fuwa has given me that opportunity through their franchise opportunities. So back in 2019, just before COVID, I actually went to Japan and I literally had fluffy pancakes every single day. Sadly, I had to cut that trip short because of COVID, came back to Manchester, and the one thing I couldn't find was fluffy pancakes. So I searched far and wide. Eventually, I came across Fuwa Fuwa here in Toronto, and that's where I saw an opportunity to bring the fluffiness, the light and airiness of the pancakes, and wanted to bring it home to Manchester. The pancakes in Japan, they were so light and airy and fluffy, and it felt they weren't so light that you weren't eating nothing, but you still had some substance to them, which is something I really love. The toppings and the variety of Japan just made it even more better. And Japan is so culturally different to, say, the UK, for example. And these pancakes were sort of an epitome of that Western and Asian blend, which I love so much. So yeah, I emailed the Fuwa Fuwa website, the franchising opportunities, and got in touch with David. First time we spoke over the phone, we had a discussion about football actually. He's a Manchester United fan, I'm a Liverpool fan, but we immediately bonded there, we had a good laugh, and I knew that this was a great first step to becoming a franchisee. Usually places ask for money first and questions later, but David really made the effort to get to know me, and I knew this was going to be the right step for me to take. So from owning my own business and to approaching another business to join them and become their franchise team, it was a daunting aspect, but from all the meetings and the get to know you sessions, I really felt I could trust in the brand, and that's what made me believe that this was the right decision for me. I think it was difficult at first and a daunting aspect because I'm so young, I'm only 22, the beard might fool you, but definitely for sure at this point in time we're at a good place, ready to get on to the next steps. So since making that initial contact with Fuwa Fuwa and David and the team, hundreds of Zoom meetings later, and making that initial first step for the investment, I'm here on my training for about 5 weeks. After the training, we're looking at getting the location and the lease ironed out. I think the big thing is location, location, location. To get that first location and the prime location is going to be a big thing, and I think that's important for any future franchisees as well, is to start looking at where your potential customer base is going to be. So once I'm back in Manchester, it's a case of finishing all that off, getting the store built out, and getting ready to open up. Whilst learning about the pastries and all the baked items, one thing I learned from the franchising team as well as the Fuwa Fuwa staff was that they've already made the mistakes for certain types of things. And those mistakes, had I gone the route by myself, I probably would have made. At least this way, through the franchising system, I've avoided those mistakes and got the fruits of their labor essentially, and I can bring that to Manchester. Another thing was the ease of training. I think it's a perfect system for them to train new franchisees, but also to give the franchisees the ability to train their staff as well. So I came into the training thinking this would be really, really hard. Thinking, you know what, it's going to take me the full 5 weeks that I've stayed here for to learn how to just make these pancakes, but in fact I've learned so much from the staff on a day-to-day basis, from making all the different types of drinks and lattes, to making the pastries, the cheesecakes and whatnot, and to finally and eventually perfecting the pancakes. I think each and every staff member has their own touch and their own unique personality, which makes the training process so much easier because you can get so many different banks of advice from different people, and that's the bit I've loved the most about the training. The recipes and everything behind that is so much easier to follow as well, and I think that system that Benson and the team have developed for the training process, it's really good and possibly the best I've seen in comparison to maybe my previous careers. I think the main thing for the pancakes, it's very easy to understand the ratio and to learn the method, but the mastery and the perfecting of the pancakes, that's the thing that maybe takes the longest. And that's the thing where sometimes if you have to understand the science behind it or understand the specific technique, that's the one thing that will help you jump up from that one level higher to get the perfect, fluffy, soft, light and airy pancakes. I think franchising gives you the opportunity definitely to be your own boss, and that's something I've admired since having my business at 14. I've always loved that ability to be in control of everything. The franchising system is probably one of the best out there that I've seen. It makes life so much easier, and compared to maybe going by yourself, the franchising system, all the mistakes have already been ironed out and the system has been perfected. That's what makes my life a lot easier, and it makes being a boss, my own boss, a lot easier through this franchising system. And I think from the training that I've had here, Fuwa Fuwa have done a great job of it. Being an international franchisee is a very daunting aspect. Our relationship initially started as a purely virtual one because of COVID. But I think the openness of everyone on the team, the readily availableness of, they're only a WhatsApp message away, was something that gave me a lot of confidence. It helped build a lot of trust between myself and the team for me to make eventually that big step to invest in a brand, in a company, in the happiness of Fuwa Fuwa from across the pond, as they say, in the UK. And here I am now in Toronto. I think working for Fuwa Fuwa and having a team full of staff, the best thing that I would like in that sort of situation is for everyone to be as a family and for everyone to be at the same level. I think the pancakes and all the food items and the fluffiness and everything brings everyone together to make sure that it's a whole holistic team as opposed to a hierarchy where, there's always everyone's scared of the boss. I feel like you want to have a level playing field, and that's what I've learned through leadership courses and seminars, that you don't want to be the boss figure, you just want to be that person who's the same as them, all as one for all. I think the key thing for me personally is a strong work ethic. That's something I've always believed to have myself, and I've always wanted people that have worked alongside me or working for me to have as one of their values. Another is just pure and general happiness. If you're not happy with something, then there's no guarantee of success, whereas if you're happy or you're believing in it, you're halfway there already. I think to have some involvement in food, be it as a waiter or just serving drinks or just being in that environment, is definitely something worthwhile having when looking at becoming a franchisee. It's not absolutely crucial, but it definitely gives you a better understanding of the processes and procedures involved when running your own store or just day-to-day operations of a franchise location. So if your city is rich and culturally diverse, various ethnicities and people always willing to try new things, then Fuwa Fuwa is the brand that they are going to need. Something different, something culturally diverse, something perfect, and something that maybe is an acquired taste, but something that somebody will go, wow, this is what we needed. One thing that stuck with me about Fuwa Fuwa is definitely the branding. I mean, the yellow and the colours and they reflect the light and airiness of the pancakes. I've even so far as gone and got a yellow t-shirt as well to wear underneath. But the brand is recognisable. You see a lot of customers passing by on the street and they know that's a Fuwa Fuwa pancake in that bag. It almost leaves a memory in their head to say, right, we need to go there next. Favourite pancake? It's got to be the tiramisu pancake. I said earlier it's the coffee taste for me. I'm a big coffee holic, if that's a thing. So I love that, and I love how when you pour the sauce over it, it's got this like hydrophobicness that means it all droops over the sides. That's perfect. But if we're talking outside the pancakes from the pastry, the burnt top cheesecake is undefeated. I could finish one, maybe even two in just a sitting, but don't tell anyone that. So Manchester's known for its bee symbol, so the worker bee. It's all about our hard work ethic and the diversity and how the beehive works together to combine. So in terms of a flavour and a palette that I'm looking for a unique pancake for Manchester, it's got to involve maybe a bee or locally sourced honey and a honeycomb structured topping or something along those lines. That's my intention, and it's still a work in progress, but I can guarantee it's going to be something good. So after all that training and all the hard work, I look forward to opening up the Fuwa Fuwa store in Manchester. Please come visit us. We look forward to having you.